with all these people just coming out of nowhere and saying whatever. You're a scammer. You ripped me off. I hate you. You know, half the people didn't even have anything to do with him, and they come out of nowhere and explain why he should send them, you know, some of his money or whatever. It's like, you know, it's out of this world. So I got a little taste of that, and we're gonna be doing it again. I loved it so much that we're gonna do it again to the PSYOP NFT holders. So I'm sure somebody's gonna have something to be pissed off at me again today about. But it's kind of genius because when you send someone like 30 cents, that coin is basically locked unless we go like 50x because the gas fee is like $8 to $10. So we're gonna have to go like 30x or 40x before this becomes worth selling anyway. So it's kind of a genius marketing strategy if you actually look at what I've done. I've increased our holders and got it on everybody's radar for just a tiny amount of dill that basically won't hurt our market, right? And it also gets some airdropping everyone like, there's some strategies like, I'm building something, what do you think? I'm just gonna help y'all make all this back and not come back and say I need help. They're gonna be coming back, man. They're gonna be coming back. So get yourself some dill coin, go up to the top, guys, engage, like, retweet. Let's get some more people in here. Hey, you know, PSYOP gang might send today. PSYOP gang could potentially just send it 4 retweets. There's 80 people in here, and we have 24 retweets. God damn it. What are you doing? Are you still sleeping? You haven't had your Sunday morning coffee yet? Wake up, get back to your phone, go to the bottom right, and retweet the goddamn room. Guys, it's an incredible day to be in MeetFi, and it's an incredible day to be in Web3. Seriously, like I told you guys, I've been on Twitter for years, like 9 years, and the last month has been my most insane Twitter growth ever. Seriously, it's just continuing. Who knows? Maybe I'll hit 10K in a single month. Maybe I'll hit 100K faster than I think. It's kind of accelerating at a viral speed. And I feel like random stuff like airdropping hundreds of people Dogecoin. This is just happening. Like this dude. So I can't wait for yours, bro. All these other we do all talking about and you help grow air bells. That's what makes you work. For real. It really does, bro. But yeah, I'm glad that you're sliding in more and more because what you got is something that is gonna really have value. It's not a fucking platypus, okay? You know what I mean? It's way much more than a platypus. You gotta do it, bro. And you're gonna be able to have people come and branch off of you from that too, eventually, because you're gonna hold the right to that shit, bro. So I'm here for that. You know what I mean? And that's what matters, man. All these other little random things we keep tricking people into whatever we're doing. That's that. So that's my bad for interrupting you. Nah, you're good, man. I mean, this is crazy, though. You'd be so surprised that people love EMPs. People love all this stuff, but real projects with real value and utility, they take longer time to develop. So yeah, I mean, you know, I think the Bitcoin will be successful. I'll tell you what. Now that I know who set.eth is and everything, like. He engages a lot on my account, and so like I do think that on some level they're watching closely what I'm doing from that side, but maybe purposely not coming forward as much. I hope, but all part of this fucking PSYOP, bro. Yeah, understand the whole movement has been a mindfuck from the get-go. It's gonna be a mindfuck. There's people closer than you think that you wouldn't even think it. It's gonna be like that. And at the end of the day, if nobody's against you, fuck it, I would ride with somebody like that. Don't just pull out a gun on me. Real, I'm with it. I'm in a unique position than a lot of people because people know me. I've been around for a while. I have my own thing going. I'm not worried about some, hurting my. I'm really not worried about hurting my reputation because people actually know who I am. Like, I get numbers. Your reputation is growing rapidly, my guy. I know. I'm just saying. My reputation is growing. That's true. But people are like, oh, well, are you worried about associating with Ben Nani's project? What if something goes horribly wrong with him? And I'm like, okay, like, yeah, so what? Like, I'm not it. I'm Dill. Like, I'm here doing my best every day. And everybody knows that. So call people out the woodworks and say, I agree. I agree. But I'm not talking about that side. I'm talking about the other side of people who are asking me if word. And I'm just saying, my response to that is like, I do my best as an individual. People know that. My core supporters and everyone here knows that. It's independent of anything else in the space, right? I'm an independent individual. I use crypto, I use NFTs, but even sort of independent of, the ETH price. Nobody really sold off Dill, even though ETH took a little dip, right? So it's even independent in its own way. But I'm not worried about that stuff because the people get it. So no matter what happens, there's going to be my core people who actually understand what's going on. And anything else other than that is just noise, right? It's literally just noise. It doesn't bother me. And the last thing is, I can benefit from being controversial more than almost anybody because I have so much music and real shit behind me. So, like, regardless of what happens or what people say, like, the more that people are talking about me, the more they'll find the music. And, like, the music and content is undeniable. No market is bad market, bro. Exactly. So, I mean, there is some limits to it. I don't want to be, you just got to have a PR thing. That's it. No marketing is bad marketing. You got this shit 100%. No matter if somebody says something bad or not, you got 1,000 goods and one bad, so who cares? That's right, my friend. They can say what they want to say. Let them talk. Let them talk. Let them say more platypus, straight up. Yeah, suck my platypus, straight up. Guys, go up to the top, like, retweet, talking, just talking. Who's ready? Who's ready, guys? Please raise your hand when Neil's talking. Let them guys, please. So it's not appreciate the show, you're right. But Monty, what's up, my friend? I'm good, man. I'm in college, man. I'm in college right here, man. This is college. I'm back, y'all. I'm not Monty. You all good, brother. You all good. I think that you're good, bro. You're true indeed, man. You're right about that. True indeed. And just sometimes, when we get in here, when Neil's trying to say something important, sometimes people just jump out and speak over me. I know when I'm doing that, sometimes I forget even I do it sometimes, Neil, and I'm trying to get better at it, But it's just a respect thing, guys. It's okay. It's just, sometimes it's an accident. Sometimes it's people that, you kind of usually yield to the host. That's always my mindset is you yield to the host, but I also don't want to overpower everybody all the time. I do it enough. So I'm here for the community, man. I'm here for the family. It's on the shit show. It's a shit show. Come on. Yeah, everybody's excited, and that's part of it. That's a good thing, and that's why I was trying to tell you. I'm not trying to, but sometimes Neil says some good things, and I hear some people interrupting, and I'm like, damn, I wish he would have finished. But it's just, we're all having fun, we're all enjoying it. It's a beautiful day in the 5 morning, and we're all excited, man, because we're on to something good in here. So just keep it up, guys, and keep the enthusiasm going, I would say. Charles, it's me, I'm sorry. I have ADHD. I seriously do. They drink caffeine too much, bro. Oh, yeah, you guys are good, man. You guys are good, man. I'm just, getting ready for the big group. That's all. There's going to be people coming in. You guys are good. You're good. You're a good dude. You know that. Monty, you're learning a lot in here, man. Like college education. Yo, I'm telling you, no lie, bro. I'm telling you, I learned a lot since the time I jumped to space with you, man. Well, man, I'm glad we could help. Yeah, man. The whole family teaching, man. Each one teaching, regardless of what it is. Appreciate you, bro. You're the man, and you're always bringing a good vibe, and you're showing other people the way, too, because too many people just come in here and listen all day. They talk all day. They don't actually, get a little bit. And you don't have to break the bank to just get a couple of, affordable NFTs here and there, True. That's right. So let's go to Rabbi with the hand up. What's up, Rabbi?
Thank you so much. I'm going to be hopping in the shower, so I'm going to hop down as a listener. But I did want to reiterate what Charles was saying. It's about the community. This is a wonderful community. I'm new to it. I've only been in it for about 72 hours, but I want you to know there's a lot of positivity, a lot of love, and this thing is going to the moon. So you should feel very positive about your project. All I know that this is one of the strongest, if not the strongest, currently on Twitter Spaces. Thank you.
Yeah, Rabbi, come in anytime for me. 5 morning. We do it every morning. I get up pretty early to the Pacific time and do it. And also, Rabbi, you should check out some of my music videos. I made a song called Jordan Belfort about the Wolf of Wall Street. You should check out the music video for that. And yeah, I'm here just as a PSYOP gang community member. My project is Dill, and it's an altcoin about music, and it's connected to my Spotify, Apple Music, YouTube. So yeah, check some of that out, man, and then you can see a little bit more about what I'm doing with music, NFTs, and crypto, because it's pretty cool stuff. And then I'm just hosting some PSYOP gang spaces because the community's here, and I'm a member of the community. So
that's phenomenal, Alpha. I'm going to make sure to stream that on my stream. So hopefully give you some extra boost there. And if anybody needs anything, feel free to DM me. Thank you so much, everyone.
Hell yeah, man. I want to get in early, in the first, the first 2 years of Rabbi, ROTHSCHILD. We need to have an intro to the Jordan Belfort music video. Leaves our timestamp in there. And then play Crypto Rich, too. That's my newer album. I made this, song about the Wolf of Wall Street years ago. And then I was the first guy to make an album about crypto. So, I'm coming for a Guinness Book of World Records entitled Rabbi. I want my own. Let's go. Shout out to Rabbi, guys. Follow him. Show him love. He's got some really interesting stuff going on. Let's go to Dog. What's up, Dog? So got some really interesting stuff going on. Let's go to Dog. What's up, Dog?
GM Bill, GM Allie, GM Charles. Hope you guys are doing well this morning. Just wanted to say I was excited when I got my 420.69 bill yesterday. I think it was yesterday, right? Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't have any of the PSYOP gang because I'm not that cool. But maybe I'll get some if I can find some ETH. If I can scrape up some ETH somewhere. Maybe. Yeah, you guys, I'm sure you guys saw that. Bitboy attack or whatever. I just hate seeing that over and over. Like, you get all these people getting drained, man. It's so bad.
It's a real shame. It's a real shame to see people get hacked, to see people get their wallets drained, taken advantage of here at Web3. It's a real bummer, man. So, yeah, is it still going?
I think he took it over because I looked at his account and I didn't see any more posts. So I'm hoping that he took it down and got control of it. But it's so bad. Like, I don't know what he did, what people do to allow access to accounts, but I'm sure, isn't there a more secure way to get people to authenticate?
I don't really know about that. Yeah, there is, especially if you have a professional account.
Yeah, exactly. Shouldn't he be taking these measures?
When you have something like that, you should always protect it. Dude, I take the most paranoid measures. If I told you, I don't even want to sound like a schizo. Seriously.
Yeah, exactly. That's crazy, man.
Yeah, 160 grand, was it?
I think it got up to 300,000, dude.
Oh, God. Jeez, it's like 316 or something like that.
Yeah,
Last time I looked, not even an hour ago, it was like 160. Now it's 316. My goodness.
I don't know. I had posted when it first started, it was like at 160 grand. And then I think Moravik or somebody posted that it got up to 300,000.
Yeah, I saw a post this morning for 160. That's what I saw this morning. But everybody dare be that a lesson, you know what I mean? Like that right there. It really happened. Even our really smart people, like you have to pay attention to links. You have to pay attention to what you're connecting your wallet to. Just because it has a MetaMask logo doesn't mean you're connecting it to a legit source. Even if it's MetaMask that you're connecting it to, like people need to be a little bit more careful when they're not. And that just is expensive lessons to learn. But I tell you, every lesson I've ever learned in my life, I've paid for that one that I've learned the most from. Because I got a real experience behind that, an emotional response when it comes up. I remember that shit. Leave that. Just to let you know, my first entry into DeFi, I spent 10K to a fake contract. Charles got man. That was my friend. Hell, man, that would have pumped our chart, man. That was a few years ago, but that was my first lesson. I was like, what in the fuck did I just do? And it linked, bro. Yeah. That's beyond me. That's just eating. You eating your 10 grand into a scam, I guess. You saw it, the old coach up a woman just go hit those days that y'all run across the field and practice, man. Just want to just power through the field. When that happens. Shit, I'm still moving for that dope behind that contract.
I got rug pulled by some dude for like $4,000. He ended up taking off with $600,000 from everybody, and we actually found out where this dude lived and like all of his info. But I would have loved to actually pursue that, but it's just these guys are so stony.
If you do come into that situation, the first thing that you have to do, and it may sound crazy, and they may totally turn you away, but it is the first thing that you have to do is file a report with the local police department. That way, if you do know who it is, that's how you get the legal situation going. There has been a report filed, and you take that report to your lawyer and let him do your work. That's if you know who this person is. So that they can do anything. Yeah, but you need that paperwork. So like there's a few blockchain, what I call blockchain police out here. They do report to law enforcement and things like that. They would they'll tell you the first thing they told me was, hey, you have to file a police report. But these guys did like 3,000 of some money that I had sent to a hacker. These guys were able to do it, and they are working on some technology to kind of go after these guys.
Yeah, the forensic and analysis people out there. I told you that over and over. Like that's what I do. Like in IT security, and that's what I did. In my government background, that's what I really do, bro. Is look and study and analyze and use my tools and sniffers to really create paths and follow paths and trails that people normally wouldn't even look at that type of angle, because I've been at a negative side of that angle at one point in my life, so I know how to think like some of those people. So when I joined to help the things that I help now, like for my day-to-day paycheck movements and organizations out there and side contractors that have developed technologies to go after people like that. So if you have something and you need some help, Charles, with that, I'll give you my hands to that.
The guy who did it, the tank man, I was never able to figure out who that guy was. He probably was somebody overseas somewhere. But
I'm the type that I'll go to the president, bro, if he fucking wants something wrong with people, like literally legally, and because it's all for the better right. Dude, there's so much scum out in the world today, outside of crypto, outside of everything political, with every big shot out there nowadays that's running these tech companies. Some bullshit's going on in the background. Like there's just so much scummy stuff in our government and our justice system, and like we can't count on none of that. So we have to start developing these things as a community and teaching people how to use these and not just hoarding it to ourselves and only using it when it benefits the highest client that pays for them to go after somebody. And until that's possible, it's going to continue. People aren't going to have the info they need, because not everybody knows how to even seek out what they're of a lot of stuff. Like I could go on, and I'm going to make people sound dumb in here, but I'm not trying to sound the smartest either. But seriously, like, man, that shit sucks.
And it really does, man, because like I can only imagine if it was last, like some of these people in these different, countries that invest is trying to get their family above the water level. And, they only have $20 to invest, trying to turn that 20 into 40 so the family can eat for 2 weeks. And they go and invest in these scams, and now they can't eat for 2 weeks. And it's just, and that happens, guys. That really happens. That's why sometimes when you see in these spaces, you hear these foreigners come in pissed off, mad. They don't have the next meal because they just, it's just them trying to get ahead. That $20 will last them 1 week. They're just trying to get 2 weeks out of it. And, and sometimes it's a gamble, and sometimes it's a things that I know of are there for, a trap line for these guys, find fake contracts that they're putting out, contract inside of their contract.
Yo, fuck you, Kanye, first and foremost, for making me do this shit.
Yeah, it's a lot of things being created.
I had to throw everybody out the motherfucker. I like to propose some
But yeah, man, it's a
Yo,
lot
fuck you,
going
Kanye.
on. It's a lot going on, behind the scenes in crypto to kind of like get these guys, it's a lot going on. So just we have to bear with it. The more come out, the more people are trying to fight against it. The good white hat devs, and I think it's eventually gonna, take some real legislation and to kind of cut down on these guys, which I hate to fucking say that. But
right now with Binance, they're about to rewrite a lot of laws. Right now, and I'm glad I'm not one of those tokens that's being used or pawns to be that lawmaker, but I definitely want to be a person that speaks on what laws that should go into effect and give you a real legit breakdown of why that could be a reason for that law and not you just trying to scam us out of our money again.
Right, and how we hold situations, right? And that's what it really comes down to. And the best way to fight back those situations, guys, you might not believe it, but say, for instance, these guys are trying to shut down crypto, right? They're trying to shut down crypto, right? Crypto is the real army. Just look at it like this, real army. And all of these small tokens they're trying to shut down are all going to receive purple hearts at the end of this, you know what I'm saying? Because the simple fact that once they're done, people are going to start back aping. People are going to start back aping. They're going to start back getting into these things, and you're going to see the influx come back in. I know a lot of guys who really did get scared and pulled out. But guess what? No, it's what they're doing. So it's we have to be patient with crypto, guys. This is something that was, designed years ago to help our financial system and to help
Literal finance without the fees and government institutions interfering as much as possible. God forbid we live in borders these days, and we have to abide by laws that we might not always believe in, and that shit sucks. And that is one of the reasons I'm actually going to leave the country I'm in now and go somewhere else. But that's a whole other story. I'm not going to get into that. But before I launch my official project, I'm leaving the country I'm in because of the laws that we need to rewrite. These are today have little laws and I'm not going to my thing out to your things bigger. Go across customs. I'm going to set up my stuff at a much cheaper price, actually. Thank you. And I don't want to worry about all the chaos, but it's just that we need more laws, we need more legislation, but we need the right laws and the right legislation. Or it's they're going to come in and try to screw us over. And individuals like we in America that probably does because the shittiest ones, bro. It's going to be America, sorry. And they're going to want to take the most out of this. And people know this isn't true. They're going to say it's for the better cause of national security that we need to know everything about transactional data because we need to know about terrorism. Oh shit, you support terrorism all the time. You create wars all the time. You do all this and that. And you want to talk about our money? No, first of all, a lot of you guys started the whole platform that made a lot of this shit. So, just shut up already. And just, give us our way. Do it the right way. Be transparent. This is what we're trying to do. You don't like that you're going to lose control over what the dollar really means if crypto really takes off and everybody's like, what? We don't want that paper money. That shit is nothing. Whatever, man. And if that comes, that's a risk. The banks, none of that matters. That's why they're jumping on board in the background and making their own currencies, whether they go out and put it on the New York Times or not. They are, and I know they are. And the Federal Reserve has made its own. So, they know what's up. They can go against us if they want. But I swear, everybody together. Some of us hang out in some really dark back channels, and if they set those people up, I promise you, it will be so destructive, and they will be down. To the day they did with Mark was you know what, sue me and I'll call my company man the next day, fuck it.
Right, I'll tell you something, and WHD, I'm going to get you to you in a second. I see you have your hand up. I'll get you here in a second once I get this out. Guys, realize this, that not everybody in the government is against crypto, okay? We do have some politicians that's inside of the government that is fighting for crypto. And just like the government, just like the CEO, not everybody in the government agrees with what the SEC is doing right So it's about to disrupt the inner government. When I have this side of the government fighting for this side of the government fighting for this, when they can all be in the same party. How can a crypto party run for president? Yeah, and I'm saying this could really be, actually, you can't, it's really going on right now. This government politicians are fighting for their position right now. And the ones who are really pushing for crypto, they're fighting. It's something that it's just all about law and legislature. They have to pass these things through all of, we have to go through the different, the House of Representatives, you have to go through the Senate to the president, for the president to sign off on these things. You just have to.
Her parents fucked like 38 years. 7 months ago? 9 months ago. Like 38 years. Like 4 months ago.
The things I was going to mention is when someone gets hacked, I understand that you suggested, Charles, that because of the days and I personally have lost so my experience so this had to file laptop solutions. Now, there is no regulations in the country to regulate an industry and making money out of it. And they go to Texas in slaves, they call slaves. So, for me, personally, if you lose your money, someone hacked your wallet, there's no point. 99% of the time, they're going to get the money. What we can do is look for communities.
What up, man? The myth, the legend, Michael Bass. What's going on, pimp? Absolutely. How you living, baby? It will be soon. It will be soon. What's new in your neck of the woods? So you move locations? How do you like your new place?
It's a temporary place. Actually, no. I mean, it's just different environment. I wouldn't say I like it or not. I'm in an extended stay right now.
Like a hotel?
Yep. In a hotel right now.
Are you able to, I mean, not my business, but financially, are you okay?
For now, yeah. I mean, I need to figure something out where things need to be working out. Which
They're starting to improve when it comes to people finding out about me, and that's a good thing. Especially, I got into these altcoins. Not that I purchased any, I don't have the money to do that, but the altcoins have adopted me as well. I mean, you heard that space yesterday, and they're positive towards me. And so the ones that I'm with which I'm associated, well, firstly, I'll tell you what, altcoins are going to be worth a lot someday, but they suck right now. But they,
I need a lot of money.
that's phenomenal. So at least when it comes to altcoins, they're going to be big. But just like right now, people are looking at it in micro terms, and they want this quick, capital, and they're not getting that. But I can tell you that the
So which ones are you into?
well,
Harry Potter, I stumbled across that myself. I would imagine an interesting phenomenon.
exactly.
How long have you been involved with them?
Oh, like everything's like within the last like 72 hours. Not everything, but okay. So the first one I was associated with, which I was associated, was like this Joe Rogan coin. And the way that I got associated with it was I was streaming Joe Rogan, when I was asleep. That was when I was doing like 24-hour spaces,
Sure.
and noticed that somebody else had a Joe Rogan space. So I talked in there and introduced myself, and they were really cool and nice and stuff. And they're like, "Are you in Telegram?" And I'm like, "Oh, I don't want to be in another social media," as like I'm sure everybody is. Exactly. But I'm like, they're like, "You should join our Telegram. We got a lot of good stuff going in there." And I'm like, okay, fine. So I joined their Telegram, and then I downloaded some
That's
case.
where I looked up Great Potter Sonic 10 and
Don't forget Obama.
whatever. Obama, yeah. That's like I looked that up.
No, you're good. I believe it is Harry Potter, Obama, Sonic 10,
Sonic 10
Inu.
There you go.
And
Yes, you're correct.
and
And it's also Bitcoin.
and it,
Underneath that, Chris.
you're exactly right, which is easier to find it, but then also confusing.
Well, everything on Nexus says like imposters or whatever too. So
Right.
just so you know, if you're new to that one,
I
fairly new.
yeah, I've been figuring that one out. So then I was in that one, and then the next one I got in, so I started learning about these altcoins, which is basically like a currency to buy NFTs. At this point, there's not a whole lot of other use for it, maybe a little bit, but and I knew about Pepe because that launched like right after NFT New York City, and I was like, wow, what is all this? Like, I was interested in it. Okay, so then I got into Capybara, which actually it's a smaller altcoin, but it has pretty high worth in comparison to some of the other ones. And then I got into this one, Wall Street Bets, and I got into that one big time. Wall Street Baby, I should say. Um, and the way that I would get into these is like I just joined them like a member of the community. I mean, I have no money to be able to give them, but what I can.
So that's what they say too. You should join the community, get to know them a little bit before you invest. DYOR, right?
Exactly. DYOR is exactly right. So I learned a lot about the communities, and so I was in this room, and I figured out a really good thing to do when I'm in this room and there's like a lull and nobody has anything to do. I ask, does anyone want to play trivia? And people a lot of times are like, oh yeah, we'd love to play trivia.
They got dead air.
Exactly. And they need content. And so at least in this Wall Street Babies group, I was like, all right, well, and there's this randomtriviagenerator.com, which is an excellent trivia website. Oh my God, it's amazing. So basically, you just go to this website and it gives you, I don't know, maybe something like 50 to 100 questions on one page, and everything from like geography to politics, arts, general. And, some of actually, most of the questions are too hard for the general person in these rooms. Oh, yeah, definitely. They're very difficult. So I have to find like ones that are like, this Simpsons character is the father of Homer on The Simpsons, something like Abe Simpson. But if I ask them like these two countries border Montserrat or like something like that, it's like really exactly. So they're like some of them are really difficult, but at least like one of the people in one of those rooms was like, hey, you should to the person hosting, they're like, look, Rabbi here is like streams his life 24/7. We should do 24/7 streams of our coin, at least on Twitter Spaces, which is an excellent idea. And any group that did that would be the smartest one ever because they'd always have a community open and they'd get a lot of new people.
You gotta have the right personalities and whatnot to keep the content up, otherwise the room is going to stay out.
You're right, and people will flood it. But if you're able to do it, I mean, if you have a new coin and you want people to learn about it, there's no other other way.
If you have money, if you're really making some bucks and whatnot, then you can put a couple guys on that for
at least a week or two.
$10 an hour, yeah. $20 an hour to keep the space open for a week.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
So I learned what the record, at least what the public record is of a Twitter space. It's more than 420 hours. So these guys were there and they're like, hey, one space.
After one space, Mr. Morgan, she was doing crypto and stuff. They all ended up getting jobs, like working at labs.
Sure.
They got Web3 jobs. They're younger.
Wait, was it recorded? See, that's the thing. People have to record it or it's not believed. You can say that you did it for a year. I mean,
Well, these people would know. I mean, they did it. Morgan did it. It was like Crypto After Dark. They changed their name. Or there were a few people that did this. There was one evil plant. He went live with the phone and had a couple of people that were able to log in on the same account or something because he went to Dubai and got funding. And he disappeared. But he was still around.
well,
Anyway, they had a little bit of purpose.
oh, sure.
And that is to clean up your marketing and your canvas through. You gotta get one, your internet or something's gotta get a little bit better.
Have you watched it recently?
Surely, like within the last, I popped in and out on YouTube.
Oh, that's okay. So I did.
Yeah, no, I mean, that's in your whole thing. But I see, you know, like pretty low quality and you sleeping a fair amount, whatever. There could be replays of things or just even like a better stream, a little bit better marketing. And it would do you toward your spread.
Oh, I'm sure it would. At least I did get an extender for my Wi-Fi, which allows me to at least have longer streams and a little bit better quality. So I mean that is an upgrade. But
It's been a week. It's been over 7 days. At least. I'll say that.
okay, I got this thing about 2 weeks ago, and that happens
2 weeks in.
approximately. And so the ones that crash generally are because of like Wi-Fi connectivity or because Chrome can crash as well. But at least,
You had one or two that were alive that were on YouTube.
and that's all I care about.
TikTok or Instagram.
No, that you're absolutely fine. And so at least when it comes to, I mean, I know where I'm going to get big, and that's Twitter Spaces. Just from the fact that I'm generating a lot of interest on it, and there's some whales on it, and all I need is the right retweet, and then it takes off. So I'm not too concerned about that. I know I'm not going to get big on YouTube initially. Like no one's going to come to my stream like this is the greatest thing ever. But what they will do is they're hearing me and people are learning about me and they know I'm an intelligent person. I mean, when I'm able to compete with what is like an Elon Musk impersonator, that's pretty good. And he's pretty well known too. Excellent. Which one? I hear myself. What I am, so I think that's positive. You're right on the marketing and things, but the way that I'm marketing myself is at least through Twitter Spaces.
Just upping the quality of your stream to like everybody that's streaming nowadays has like a 1080 to even get you to a 6, a 7, 20 or whatever. You know, there's about a 600 megabyte too. That could be done.
At this point, I can't though. I mean, I share the Wi-Fi, and so I mean, I already take up the majority of it. But at least when it comes to the altcoins, I got into this Wall Street babies, and I started doing trivial with them, and generated a lot of interest there. Then I got into the next one in which I got was Pepe. So Pepe was, Pepe's kind of dying out. I'm not saying that it doesn't have long-term options or long-term potential.
There were 1,500 tweets. I checked it like 10 hours ago. Within 10 hours. And there were 1,500 tweets that hour. And still, I don't know if those are bots. I mean, it is dying.
It lost its momentum, but I'm not saying that it doesn't have a lot of potential. It's still not one of the strongest meme coins out there. It's just it doesn't have that initial surge like it had post.
Yeah, I was getting listed on Binance, and Binance wasn't being sued by the SEC and everything.
You're exactly right. So then from Pepe, phenomenal. So
I should have sold right then. I heard Coinbase was listed the next day, and that was, I should have told me. It's always by the sell the news. The news hadn't quite happened yet. That was, I should have followed up on it a little bit more. Because what happened is Coinbase is set up with their key file, which is not really anything, but
so that you're absolutely right. So from there, I went to the PSYOP, and then quickly into the Sonic Obama. But it has a lot of potential because it's so ridiculous of a name. I mean, yeah, I actually streamed their website. It's live. It's live on my stream right now. And I'm actually live. I'm live in the Discord as well. So the thing is, I mean, like before, I would not. I mean, I look at things like the amount of traction that I'm getting when it comes to followers, and like I kind of place myself when you. So I get about 100. I wouldn't say 100. I'll say 70 followers a day, which is really good for me. I know, which is really good, and they're good, solid people. And like I'll get into a discussion. No, I haven't. And like you're right, and like at least the Pepe Spaces, they were doing that as well. But I find like the people are very positive towards this project. I really don't get a lot of negativity, which is good. And I mean, I get messages that are saying, like, keep it up. This is a really important endeavor. This is going to be really big. And that's
you did a great message about data being, and you left it off with I can't believe you wouldn't debate what is the that's a good one to leave it at. Is data the resource that they're
exactly. I mean, I gave them enough opportunities to debate, and so
that was so fucking lame.
I agree. I agree.
think that emojis and shit. It's like, you know what? That needs to be edited. I don't see anybody really talking about Adrian Miller.
Oh, I hear about it all the time. Yeah, a little bit. Yeah. Actually, I saw a tweet about that person this morning. So, I mean, like, I'm of the thought that there are only about 10,000. I shouldn't say that. English speakers, 10,000 users regularly on Twitter Spaces. It's not that much more. I'm getting known, and there are some really important players in that. And the way that this is going to go is that pinned tweet that I have. It's already got over 100 retweets. Somebody's going to see it and be like, well, this person has a ton of data. They're going to see how many streams I have going, and they're going to want to monetize it. And they're going to be like, wow, I'm going to ride this person into the sunset. And it'll...
potential for that is large.
Exactly.
It's move and how and all that. I think you can situate yourself better.
The
Dude in the space send him an address. You sent it?
Yeah, you know what? I didn't send him an address. I was so no. That's not something I can't go back and find. I was actually thinking about that. Well, I was in the middle of a debate, and so as you know, with the phone.
When somebody asks me, you should have this prep, dude. You should have every single. You should have myself, dude. You're not really suffering because a bunch of my shit got shut down. But I had 7 or 8 revenue streams, including Google, which I just have cashed in. I made $125 off of Quora, which took years. But to my first paycheck with them. Anyway, we had all this shit set up. People just do it. It's bizarre. I had it going. I just let it all go to shit. Whatever. Then I focused my energies on something else. Like I did Storm Pepe. So, but that's a main win bridge now. So I need another one.
Right.
I once it's set up, like that's my piece. Basically, so it sucks.
Right.
They didn't shut down my trading platform, but I was like doing okay on it. And then just fucking sucked. They put a Shiba Inu on the logo for Twitter for a day.
Right.
And
Which,
I played that like an idiot. I made a lot of money and lost.
well, I still think
$500 in like 30 minutes.
I think it has long-term potential. I know we don't always have that kind of time, but if you can hold, it's not a bad idea. Well, at least when it comes to these Doge and Shiba.
I think those are both pretty much like dead. They're fine to trade, but for a long-term hold, no way.
We're only looking. How long has it been around? What, a couple of years?
Doge has been around for like, I don't know, it's been around for 6 years, 5 years at least.
Okay.
Shiba has only been around 2.
So
But like they put further mechanics in. Seriously though, I really think that's kind of done its thing.
people said the same about Bitcoin. And I'm saying, I look at these things, I mean, because I'm somebody who's like, hey, mind uploading is a thing. You got to have like 100-year plan on this. And if you, not everyone can, but if you can, that's exactly.
There are wallets that I have. There's one right now I'm turning it up. It's got $150 on it. It was so small, it wasn't even worth nothing years ago. There are some that I have that were probably worth at least $800 or $1,000 right now. And I'm hopefully going to get, I have a bunch of different wallets over the years, and I didn't even bother. And then, a decade, like what you can't even send, but one of your fees is now $1,000.
Right. No, I understand that.
That's the freaking thing, dude. And like point 0.1 Bitcoin or 0.01, I think there's 21 million of them, increasing $1 billion plus or loss, say 19.5 or something like that is out, right? We're available. That will never be able to be used. They're going to continue to get lost. If there's billions of people and everybody wants a little, 0.01 is going to be a sizable zone.
I'm in agreement with you. Yeah, no, definitely. So, at least what I've been doing, and I've seen you in a couple of rooms, but really it's just being vocal in them. People have a lot of positivity for what I do. I mean, I can just tell you today, I've gotten over 10 messages of people saying either you won the debate or we think highly of you, keep doing what you're doing. Really positive things. And, like the guy this morning, Dill, I don't know if you were aware. Oh, you weren't, because you had called me. I'm still in his space actually. He has like 60,000 followers, and all I need is one of those accounts basically to retweet my stuff, and it can take off from there. And these creators though realize the potential. I mean, so another thing that I do is where it says, like, I'll go into spaces that are like, shield your space, and I'll tell people about my project. Not one person has been like, well, that's a bad idea, or that's stupid. Every single person.
It's very great. The only thing is that it sets you up. There was a little bit of chatter about like doing business because you're recorded, and people are like, that's scary. That if the coins that people you're speaking to are cool, then they're probably not scammers either.
You're exactly right. I mean, if you have something to fear, well, then you're probably not doing everything in an honest manner. You shouldn't fear the recording. In fact, it's one of the things, I mean, at least in...
That's one of the things I liked about it so much. I got a lot of pushback from people that I tried to roll it. I was surprised.
It tells you a lot about what they're doing. There's a saying that my boss once said, which is that which is done in the darkness will be brought to the light. And a lot of times people are afraid that perhaps...
They've got secrets.
Exactly.
I mean, I've got secrets, but I'm not
exactly. I mean, I got, exactly. I don't know if you heard last.
Like I do it in igers, and I brought that up a few times, man. Like it's summertime, it's the beach. I'm in California. I'm an hour away. I almost flew up and dropped off here to you a couple times.
Well, I would certainly appreciate it, but at this point, I'm telling you, the way to do it, at least in my opinion, is through Twitter Spaces and just getting more well known. I noticed when you went over 1,000 followers, that was like maybe a month and a half ago or so, and in the same amount of time, like I gained. I'm trying, and I'm trying 24 hours a day, so this isn't a competition. But like, I don't know, you've got like maybe what 1,100 now, or something like that. And I yes you have. I know you've been busy with other things, but I've gotten I've gotten 1,000 new people, new followers in the last, I would say, 3 weeks, and that's a lot. I mean, and they're real people, exactly, and they're real people, and they they engage with me, and it's basically when I walk into a space now virtually, people are like, hey, the rabbi's here, and some people are like, who's that? And they're like, oh, you don't know about his project, and they actually tell people about the project before I haven't even had a chance to speak. And so my plan is this, to really, of that 10,000 people on Twitter Spaces, for just them to all know about me, and that's happening in a much more rapid fashion, especially because then I also get in these telegrams, and there's an ability to stream video on Telegram. So when they have a video chat or a,
Some of your stuff, your highlights, like you have a stream that you just did, right? You make a video of that. That's the value I can bring. That feed, we cut it down to
highlights.
Like you and him, 15, 20 minutes of good stuff. And I think you're in the money there. Because now you got something relevant. People might care.
Especially because they think this guy's Elon Musk or Elon Musk imposter.
This is how you get money. This is all day for you.
Absolutely.
So I need to be able to get at that. And if you have a creator studio, I don't know if you've seen any of my videos. I have a number of different channels. So I can download from another person and make shorts out of it or something like that. And try to
There's I mean, if you just go to my Instagrams, it's on there too. You know what I mean? I can send you.
I don't think I've ever been anywhere.
You've never been on my Instagrams? I've got 4 different Instagrams going right now. I think you have, because you were like, oh my God, it's so much clearer. On Instagram, it's much clearer than on YouTube. I am just typing right now. I'm if you type in Rabbi Rothschild, the ones that I currently have going, like Rabbi Rothschild 48 would have it, and you'll see it's just a timeline of my entire life. It's really interesting. It goes back all the way to the beginning of the year, just on these streams, but I have them on earlier streams as well. Yeah, Rabbi Rothschild. Oh, that's me. Way clearer. Oh, I see you there. Are you CDX on LLC? Absolutely. Isn't it amazing how much clearer I am on Instagram? You can do it through OBS Studio and some other things. But isn't it amazing how much clearer I come in?
That's what I'm talking about. Having you on Instagram and directing people to YouTube, and it does you a disservice other than just other tools. That is so much better.
It is so much better. And so there's a lot of positivity towards that. YouTube is really the long-term time capsule.
Last night, I see you got a shitload of stuff that all looks kind of the same.
So they're in like 30-minute intervals. So you would just go back, like, let's see here. Last
1 hour, 2, 3,
exactly.
6. So it's got to be about here. You're sleeping. Okay.
So it would be after I'm sleeping.
Okay. I see it from your own phone.
And usually that's going to be what I'm doing, because I'm talking into the phone on Twitter Spaces.
Yeah, we're sleeping. It'd be nice to have a time, like a clock on So I can. So you're sleeping.
So go to the stuff that's more recent than me sleeping.
Yeah. If things are 30 minutes, then this should be you.
Well, click the long, like the timeline. Make sure, because some of them are an hour. It just depends.
Oh, these are hours.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay. Sorry
so
about
let's
that.
see. So I go back. No worries. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 5, 6. Okay, this is about where I was anyway.
So,
It should be.
well, you got to have the question: how the hell do you have so many Instagrams going in such an orderly fashion, right? How is that possible? So I've got an auto clicker that I have programmed that,
You brought that up. Auto clicker. Yeah.
which so I've got that.
That's actually a manual device, like a motorized tapper. Touches the screen.
I have that, but then there's also an overlay. It basically, well, every hour it uploads the previous hour. But I have that on different streams. So at least when it comes to like clarity and also sound, it's much better than what YouTube is. I'm really surprised when you have there's such a clear video on Instagram, why YouTube doesn't allow you to have the same kind of settings. I mean, you've used YouTube Studio. You know that there are really no options to like improve.
There aren't, but on the other side of it, if you know what the fuck you're doing, you can output what Google wants, and you'll get what's happening is you're outputting like a lower quality, with a stream rate of something that it can't quite deal with and process. You get it already pre-processed or partially processed, output better.
Correct.
I know that from editing different videos, and then like I found the perfect. I don't know how people figure this shit out, but it's knowable somehow. What Google wants exactly. Because if you upload it, you don't need to process it really at all.
You're right. I've also got on Twitter. Twitter allows me, now that I have better connectivity, to do 24-hour videos. Which, so I just have if let's say those Instagrams didn't work, I could give you a Twitter link. You know what I mean? So like there are redundancies here that are really positive as well.
You're brilliant on the streaming side, for sure.
Thank you.
The ability that you've got, and what you did for me, I've done it with a couple things with it now, where I've gone live on YouTube using a Discord, and just having something unique on Discord to stream share. That's badass.
It is cool.
Just make a quick video, it's perfect.
Absolutely. And so I've got these things on timers, and so when one of them, like the one that you were just watching, went down, because it didn't go down, I should say, like its hour ran out, so now it's checking connection, it's starting up a new one, but I've got one right next to it, basically 6 inches higher, that's been going. So like if something interesting happened on one, you'd be able to watch it on the other. Well, it's not ideal, it's much better than having nothing.
Well, and the screen, because you told me that I could access the screen behind you.
Oh yeah.
I just put some stuff up on this thing, but I don't get it from the I went and stream live the ViralRabbi, ViralRabbi.com.
Yeah, that one's mine too.
Yeah, that's the YouTube that one.
Oh, okay.
That one does not have that larger screen. If you had something like a clock, that would be really helpful.
I read.
Because then you have like a time code on the on the screen here that might be useful.
I recognize that. I've got it on my computer.
Dude, your best knows. I think that's your thing. If you package together a few. So I think you were populate Europe. I have to come back. I was trying to do two things at once.
No, you're good. I have a timestamp on my computer right now. I mean, it doesn't help me that much. I mean, because time just continues. What does I also have the radio, so I can tell you by what show is on exactly what is where I am in the time, just because I know the schedule so well. And I've had that radio going now for, by the way, on 6/6. So I'm now, yeah, so I'm now past that. Um, and so now it's easier for me to instead say 666 straight days. I just say more than 2 years. And, but the thing is with the 666, it gets people's attention and it sticks, and it sticks in their mind. So,
And I think you can say that podcasting for more than 666 days, the high roll rabbi.
exactly. Exactly. I've only gotten pushback from one person. This guy was really interesting, and he should know. He'll watch this someday. I think. Let me think what his name is. I forget. Anyway, he has a really interesting story. So I think he's jealous of me. Frankly, it's like, well, what is there to be jealous?
Yeah, why would you have a heater?
Okay, so here's why. He was the first baby ever live stream who had their birth live stream. So he's like Truman from the Truman Show, like. You know what I mean? But I would say that I thought Addison is his name. Now I remember. But he had an issue. He's like, why do you have that number on your, like, he would kick me out of his space. I'd be like, why are you kicking me out of your space? He'd be like, because you have that number on your profile. I'm like, what? What's your issue? Like,
666.
yeah, are you like like, do you have numerophobia or something? And he's like, well, and I'm like, well, I mean, what do you want me to do about it? He's like, well, you're like more than that now. Why don't you change it? And I'm like, I'm not going to change it every single day that I'm going to do it. Like, I'll change it at major intervals. And like, we've had the discussion, like, there's 2 years, which was 730 days, and then there's 777, and then there's 800, et cetera, et cetera. But he's the only person that was pretty recent. When I walk into a room or virtually, people know who I am. They know the story, and it's just a matter of time. So I'm really excited about that, and I'm getting a lot of positivity from that, and the sleep during it. I have bad vision. I have bad vision, and I also have cataracts. So it's easier for me to sleep during the day because, frankly, the sunlight is bothersome to me. Like, why do you stay up at night as opposed to during the day? And that's where I find, I'm not going to say like a lot of potential, but usually people are more chill. They don't want to just have like market talk and stock markets, and like, you can't go into some of these rooms and be like, hey, can I tell you about my project? You're like, no, it has nothing to do with the price of Tesla, or it has nothing to do with the price of Nvidia, or whatever their discussions are. Exactly, and I understand that, but a lot of times they have dead silence in their room, so it's like, well, you can let other people up and at least talk about their projects. You're definitely right on that. The general consensus of humanity isn't that great, but we got to stay positive for it. And I really think once this becomes, it's important to do. So with that, Michael Bass, I'm gonna get some sleep because I haven't slept since all night. Excellent. I will when I'm in these chats, I'll send you an invite to know, knowing that you're back on and everything, and you can get in on them too. And
We gotta get you. We gotta do the best stuff on this one. This is a moment of like real relevancy. Relevant to see you debating Adrian. And that, I think, could go viral. The little video.
Absolutely. If you go to ViralRabbi 022 on Twitter, that is one of my accounts, and all you need to, like, I'll send it to you. It has a 24-hour it has 24 hours worth of footage, and so I can send that to you because it has a little bit better. I don't know about the quality, but it has maybe a little bit better angle. And I have I have that. So right now, okay, so are you on Instagram?
I'm on Twitter right now. On Instagram on the other.
Sure. So go to ViralRabbi. I believe it's 022.
All right, we got ViralRabbi, a bunch of them here. All right.
Okay.
007 020
022.
I don't see a 022.
Type it in. If not, I can just send you the link.
Okay, here. Let me try it. Just somebody of these
022.
Correct.
There we go. All right.
And you,
So here, give me a follow. I should have been followed.
oh, you're fine. And you should see I am live streaming on them. And
Best rabbi ever. Okay, yes, you are live streaming here.
exactly. So not the one on which I'm live streaming, but the
Oh, you
what?
don't have DMs turned on for this one.
Oh, I just have so many accounts that
I am with you. I'm just saying.
no, I appreciate it.
I'm just saying.
I have to change all the settings on them, and I just created these accounts really quickly. I really
Would
care
it be
about.
easier for me here to grab a file for you? So,
If you send it to anywhere, send it to Best Rabbi Ever. I did get my original account back, which was Rabbi Rothschild, but it did not return the 10,000 followers that I had, which stinks,
right.
you know. But
That's a Web3 solution.
at least I got it back. So if you go to ViralRabbi 022, that one has a 24-hour stream, and
They cut all your followers and they gave it back to you.
100% of them. Yep, and it's still a weird account that you can't follow me, and it's like still in jail. But at least I can log into it, which is a good thing. When it becomes big, I can make it my primary account.
Interesting.
But okay, so you've got that angle on,
So I got that one.
and then do you have? If you can go to on Instagram, you have access to Instagram.
Hold on 1 second. Where's my Bluetooth dice?
You okay?
There we go. Here we go.
Excellent. Do you have access to Instagram?
Yeah.
Okay, so then I have a side view that will be helpful. If you can go to the account, it's Bestest Rabbi Ever. It's like, why don't you have Best Rabbi Ever? I have that too, but this one is Bestest, BESTEST, Rabbi Ever. Bestest, BESTEST, Rabbi Ever. That one's live, and that one has a side view. When I was having this debate, correct. It's live right now. Exactly. And then you also, if you go to Rabbi Rothschild, just plain Rabbi Rothschild on Instagram, that one has another view on it. So it's got a lot of views right now of angles. You know what I mean? And the, just plain Rabbi Rothschild on Instagram. You were so I've got 3 good views for Instagram. Those were Rabbi Rothschild 48, Rabbi Rothschild, and Bestest Rabbi Ever. And then you've got one on Twitter, and then you've got whatever is needed on YouTube. It's definitely a challenge.
Yeah, I think I got an idea. So I'm just gonna find it. Find where it is in the history, and then queue them up. Like, it's gonna be a little bit, but I think it's doable. At least I'll just travel a little bit from the link, sending the audio.
Well, so then there's the recorded space that has very good audio. So you just run the.
That's what I'm gonna probably use.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Link it up. There's the audio.
Exactly. But once you get the right timestamp, it should be.
That's where it'd be so much easier if there was like a clock. Because I could just go to, whatever it was, 12:15 a.m. or whatever it is, and bam.
Oh, that's true. I mean, technically there is a clock, you just can't see it. There's a clock on the computer behind me that is live. You just can't see it. Yeah. So I mean, in the future generations would be able to do it, but with the current Zoom capabilities, we can't.
Yeah, okay.
Excellent.
Well, I'll see what I can do with this. At least getting one angle and then a cut angle. If it's not perfect, and I think it could play out.
I'm in agreement with you. All right, Michael Bass, you have a nice day, and we'll talk soon. Thank you. Bye-bye. You too. He's such a nice person.
Guess what? Sign up. It's a sign up. I never wanted to be Elon Musk or to walk out and everybody know that I'm the guy that did this or that or that. I just want the bank account from that. And I want to live like a normal life. So that's why I choose not to really be like so broad about things that I'm connected to. It's not because I'm like paranoid schizophrenic, because I might be, but like other than that, like I contribute my fair share in a lot of places. You'd be surprised. It depends on the same things here. I feel that, I feel that perspective. I feel like the opposite. I feel like I'm here to just get my brand as big as possible, and I'm ready for that kind of spotlight too. I don't know what it's gonna bring. Don't get me wrong. I'll be the first person to admit that one day I might be like, God damn it, I hate having the spotlight. It's too much. I'll be the first to admit that. Who knows? I know what's coming. If I continue pushing this forward to the level where it's just like, you have to be realistic. Like at some level, yeah, it gets a little bit Elon Musk, right? Like in a lot of ways, it's you gotta think about being Elon Musk. It's inconvenient, right? You can't go in a Twitter space and just talk about crypto if you're Elon Musk without everybody coming out of the woodworks and saying you're pumping crypto, you're gonna go to jail, right? You're pumping, right? So like you can't just it's inconvenient in certain ways to be this individual. That seems so crazy. No one can even believe it. If you did such a thing, it would be so crazy that you could speak in that like AI translators over, you wouldn't even know the voice you're speaking to these days. It can be done. You talked about this more, that it could be done if it was just solely read by a computer, but it could be a person that can do it 100%. No. I'm not saying it can't be done to use an AI voice changer. What's happening there is not an AI voice changer, in my opinion. But hey, maybe I'm wrong. We shall see. A lot of things. You know what I learned last night when certain individuals came in this space as I was explaining some things. I learned, maybe some things in this world are just that are left unknown, that are left to be discovered and learned. Because what's up, my friend? Here, one happy Sunday. So just wanted to share for those who may not have already seen, I currently been paid on side up real estate.
Jesus Christ. It's layering. Looks like mushrooms growing on a tree.
Like the receipts in the form of a CSV file, and you can check it for yourself. There are no duplicates. And if you randomly sample any one of them, you will find they have never sold and they are free sale. So I
It looks like
provide updates on any day that anyone sends any amount of donation.
it looks like this.
I will send out an update any day there is even just one donation. I provided a wallet address for that. It's data. And I would do this anyway, but I want to get
I'm really so much
right
nuts.
and
It looks like fucking this.
anything. But yeah, I appreciate it. Anyone could donate. And like I said, I'll return in kind some additional data.
So thanks for that breakdown. Maybe you should make a tweet with it. Put an image or screenshot of some kind. Make a tweet with it, and we can send it. Okay. Right? Dude, this is like the most active community I've ever had on Twitter Spaces. I've noticed, like, when I used to do Twitter Spaces, you get 100 people, and you put something up to the top, you get like 20 likes. But in this space, when you put something up to the top and tell you guys to like it, you'll get like 50 to 100. So that's unique. Seriously, that's unique. People are actually interested in what's happening here. And, I host other spaces that are just more sharing, where people are just there to share. And I really noticed that it's all about the culture you form within the community and within the spaces. Like, people tap in here instantly. Like, every morning, like, we have.
It's so smart to leave the club and the bar before it closes. When there are problems, a lot of times it's in the parking lot after it's closed, and we're directing our officers that's working at the job. Make sure you help clear the parking lot. You are loved. You are heard. You are understood. You belong. Experts say a ruling against Montana could set the court the legal precedent for its unlikely to change policies in the fossil fuel-friendly state. 2 weeks of testimony starting Monday will include 16 young plaintiffs hoping to call out state officials for ignoring policies encouraging oil, gas, and coal development while failing to curb climate change. Experts for the state are expected to downplay climate change impact and Montana's contribution to global greenhouse gas emissions. Mark Rotter, KFI News. Let's start your link one of the new name. Bugs. Bugs are fed to livestock like bugs gotta eat, and they are usually fed in chicken feed, which is a finite resource. Well, every gallon of beer produces 3 to 10 gallons of wastewater full of protein-rich barley and yeast. So why not feed that mess to the bugs? An ongoing study has 3 groups of bugs. One gets beer cast off, and all the bugs like all of it so far. And with the world cutting down about 200 billion gallons of beer every year, beer scrap may help feed the planet. Jason Middleton, KFI News.
You done? Well, that's it. That's my showing surrender. That's go fucking right outside of the universe. You're all fucking outside of Michelle. It's not a motherfucker, right? It's not a motherfucker, Michelle. It's not a motherfucker, right? That put lineage right. Let's go.
Hey, all, it's Dean. Before we get rolling here, let's talk about water. Great water. An essential part of a great home. As a custom home designer, I know exactly what great home water should be like. It should be like getting water from the source. Water from the source, for instance, is free from chlorine, chlorine, toxins, added salt, and other contaminants. Water from the source has all of the healthy, delicious minerals that nature intended. Water from the source feels and tastes exactly like Life Source, America's best home water system. Like Tina and I have had one in our house for years. Here's how Life Source makes it even better. Life Source flows from every tap and faucet. Life Source reduces scale, which protects all the appliances and fixtures of your home, all without using zero maintenance. If you want a great home, get great water. If you want great water, call on the source, Life Source. And now is the best time to buy. For a limited time, when you buy a new system, Life Source will pay your sales tax. LA residents, that's over 10% in savings, up to $1,000 off. The offer ends soon. Call Life Source today at 800-803-2696, 800-803-2696, or visit lifesourcewater.com.
Southside Weather today, a fine morning drizzle, possible thunderstorms in metro LA and NOC. Rated today, cloudy to cool, highs in the 50s. High chance of showers in the valley and in the empire. Pretty cloudy to cool for later today. And features light rain this morning with 50% chance of thunderstorms. Right now, outside the Cool by Studios here in Burbank, 60 degrees. 62 in Fullerton, Hutchinson Beach, and Inglewood. Really local, live on the KFI 24-hour news on Green Element.
AM 640 and live everywhere. 21 Heart Radio. Hey, welcome to home, where every week we help you better understand that place where you live. I am Dean Sharp, the house whisperer, custom home builder, custom home designer, and your guide to turning your ordinary house into something truly extraordinary. Hey, thanks for joining us on the program today. From wherever you are listening or whenever you are listening, whether you're listening to the local broadcast live right here in Southern California, or streaming us live digitally from across the country, or if you joined in for another episode of Whisper on Demand podcast, I'm just very, very glad that you are here. Our team of broadcast professionals has assembled just for you this morning, truly just for you. Doesn't that make you feel good? Tony Sorrentino on the board. Our live studio audience is here, and well, they're here somewhere. And there they are, right there. Hey, Tony, how's it going this morning? That's good. Yeah, there he is. All right. But that was actually, I can hear it. I can hear his voice. Yeah, I can hear Tony. When Tony's tired, I can hear it a little bit.
Yoshi.
Tony gets overworked every week, so he's always a little tired, but there's tired and then there's tired. And Tony's good.
Oh, cool. Yoshi. I don't take any vacations. I got the kid, I got the wife, baby.
I was on vacation. I don't take fucking vacations, but I had to take a vacation. I got a wife and a child now, and I got to act like a fucking individual. I can't just. I didn't take my. Listen, I was my wife for 30 years.
Really?
That's where I'm from. Never fucking.
Never took her?
Never. I'm not in the mood. I only go back to do comedy. I don't go back to the dilly dally when I go back. When I go back to New York, I fly in. I go to my favorite Chinese restaurant. I do radio. The next day after fucking radio, I go to the cemetery. I put flowers on my mom's grave. And I do my 4 fucking shows. I get the fuck out of the first flight on Sunday, just like I do every other goddamn Sunday.
That's it.
I try to see some people in between, you know. A school teacher or two, you know, something.
Really?
Yeah, I still talk to my school teachers too. I was gonna go to dinner with the one, but he had to take his grandkid out of the hospital. He wanted to meet me later on, but we were leaving early, so I couldn't meet him at 10.
That's fucking awesome, dude.
So, you know, we never really took a break from the podcast. And we did last Monday and last Wednesday. I took off Monday. We were going to do last night. But I tell you, I hate fucking doing podcasts when I'm tired. I don't want to give nobody, as Jimmy Schumer says, the short shrift. You follow me? I was just out of it last night. Fall asleep for half. When you have the family, you got to be. I got caught smoking vapor on the fucking bench. Tremendous. I had one of those vapor pens, and I just filled it up. It was just brand new. I took the inhaler with me. They have an asthma inhaler now. So I took
for the pot,
for the reefer.
Yeah.
Oh, it's dabs. It fucks you up. So I took that with me to New York, and I sprayed it twice, you know, a couple times on the plane, and it kept me there. And I hit it when I was in New York, and I hit it with Ari when I went over to see the tree and the fucking Saks Fifth Avenue and all that shit. And I ran out, so I had this brand new 2 gram oil from Perennial, and I opened it up before I got the plane. I charged it up. The first 10 hits. It's like fucking death hits. Like they're just fucking clouds of smoke. So I hit it 2 times. Then I got on the plane. Like 2 hours into the flight, look at my daughter. And every time I would hit it, it would go by my daughter because she had the window seat. So I go, I can't let her have it. So I go, let me go to the bathroom. I'm in the bathroom with the fucking iPod on, listening to Pink Floyd.
No, you're not.
Yes, I am. I got the iPod on, bro. That's how fucking crazy I am. I'm not listening. It's Wish You Were Here. That's the album I'm listening to because it was like Shine On You Crazy Diamond and Have a Cigar. I ate edibles. I had like 3 or 4 Red Stars.
Oh, so you had a little magic in your system.
Oh, I was fucked. I was fucked up for the first 2.5 hours because I didn't get fucked up on the way there. That made a big difference. I got agitated on the 2-hour mark. On the 2.5 hour mark, if you don't have something, once Mad Max is finished,
right,
you're ready to kill a motherfucker on the flight. Mad Max is not the movie to watch on a fucking plane. Because there you are sitting there, everybody's driving, jumping over people and shit, shooting motherfuckers. And you're sitting there next to like some fucking politician or some shit.
You want to get up.
So Virgin, I had main cabin select. It's the one behind first class. So we could all sit together because in first class, we couldn't all sit together. I would have to sit by myself. She'd be fucking crawling back and forth. And we're like, fuck that. Just get the main cabin select.
How tall is the child you have?
She's a fucking midget. She's 3, you know. She's just a little baby.
How tall do you think she is?
She's up there.
Oh, that's not very tall.
No, she's a little baby.
Oh, that's
so I got up, I go to the bathroom, I close the fucking door, and I'm in there, I'm hitting this pen, and I see clouds.
What color are the clouds?
Like, wow.
What color was that?
Fucking clouds of smoke. I'm hitting this vapor, and I'm hitting this fucking sound
with your iPod on.
With the iPod on, listen to fucking Shine On You Crazy Diamond. And all of a sudden I hear, and I see the little red light going on. They're like, open up, are you smoking in there? And I put the thing in my pocket, and I take this out, and I blow a couple clouds of this shit. And I go, hold on. Like I put my dick in my pants, which I really did piss. And then I fucking wash my hands. And I'm like, what's the problem? And she goes, were you smoking in here? I go, no. Wow. I go, do I look like I was smoking in here?
Do I look like?
She looked at me, she goes, does it smell like smoke? And she told me, they take everything out of the garbage. They do everything. They look for a cigarette. Yeah.
Oh, wow. And now what were you doing the whole time? Just standing there?
I'm standing there going, I don't know what happened. I banged it when I came in. The plane shifted and I hit the wall. And that's the next thing you know, you people were knocking on my thing and they're like, we don't smell no smoke. I wonder what made it go off. And I'm sitting there going, they fucking know. They're just playing.
Oh, really?
But then they were cool the rest of the flight.
Espionage, bro.
I sat there. They were cool. And then at the end, I gave my wife the keys. I told my mother, listen, they called me in the bathroom. I'm going to get arrested. So take the car keys. I'll see you at the house.
What did you say?
She just fucking looked the other way. I'm like, should have. What am I going to fucking say this? I'm 50. What are you going to say to me? You punch.
Well,
And I walked off the fucking plane like I owned LA.
Wow.
Nobody said dick to me.
Now, did you think though somewhere in your head that whenever you got to LA there was gonna be people?
Oh fuck yeah! They've been waiting for me before. I've been approached at the plane one time on the way to Columbus.
Is it kind of cool or is it just fucking not cool?
If you're getting off a plane, you got an ounce of weed in your nutsack.
Yes.
It ain't fucking cool.
Yeah,
But if you get up cool, you know, like the one time I was in Columbus, I had weed on me. Some guy said, I didn't do nothing. He leaned back. I go, hold on 1 second. He turned around. He goes, fuck you. So I said, fuck you. Son, I kicked the chair and he went and told the stewardess. So I was the bad guy the rest of the fucking flight.
oh jeez.
And then you start to feel like the fucking bad guy too. You're like, oh, you want a bad guy? You start saying shit in your head. You want a fucking bad guy?
Let me cocksucker. Put that seat back again. And here's what happened. We went to Columbus. They got us off the plane. They got statements from both of us and they let us go. And a year later, got on the plane. That same fucking guy. Like, how you doing? I just sat there the whole time like a little fucking.
So in all your years
Animal.
of being on the plane and like having weed under your nut and all that, you never once smoked a cigarette in the plane?
No. Wow. In 1983, I was
You
flying.
used to be able to, didn't you?
Yeah, you could smoke in the flight.
In Russia, you can't have heard.
Really?
Do anything in Russia?
But I heard that you can though.
You could smoke in like certain areas. You could smoke on a plane. But I'll tell you what I did see one fucking time though. Fucking broke my tail. I don't even know what I was saying.
Smoking on a plane.
Smoking on a plane.
In Russia, you never once smoked on a plane? Yeah.
No, but in 1984, February 1984, I got on the plane in Aspen. It was Aspen, Denver, Jersey. On the way back from Denver to Jersey, there was a soldier next to me that had a brown bowl of weed. And I'm like, when you get high, that's when you can smoke cigarettes on the plane.
Yeah.
He's like, let's go do it. We went to the back fucking thing. Me and this guy had a wooden fucking bowl. I put the weed in there. We each took 2 puffs. The fucking whole plane smelled
Of
like
course.
weed.
Wow.
They were pissed. Who's smoking marijuana on the plane? We're going to search. They do shit. I walked out there with that soldier saluting the cops and shit. You gotta take a chance from time to time.
For a soldier, you got to, bro. I get a soldier high. I'd get him doped out of his brain if I had enough dope for him.
They fucking press heavy duty charges on you one night. I got so fucked up at that point. I had 12 hours.
Do people from New Jersey get busted for coke more often than other people?
I don't fucking know. I was a fucking criminal, and I was living in Aspen, and coke was $1,800 an ounce, right? And I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? I paid $800, and they're fucking beautiful ounces. And I could cut it and still make money. I go, fuck it. So I started getting guns and bringing them to the East Coast and started bringing coke back. But this was the problem. That I would take the 1 o'clock flight from New Jersey to Denver, and that's really 3 o'clock, which would get me in there like at 7, and then it would start snowing. I started to take connecting flights from Denver to Aspen. That flight would always get canceled. Here I am in Denver Airport with 12 ounces of blow. Geeked out of my face at the fucking bar. I remember one night I was at the bar just drinking, fucking doing lines, spending all my money in quarters, taking the coke out. And I became friends with a guy at the bar, and me and him started snorting. We got fucking lit at 6 a.m. I stayed in the airport all night getting fucking coked up, jerking off in the men's store, the fucking bathroom.
That is dark and
That's
awesome.
fucking, yeah.
Dude, that's the dark side.
Oh my God.
That's the worst, bro. You're just up with your fucking ideas, feeling your fucking pulse.
What's up, Lisa? It's been a week without an edible.
I know. I'm just glad I
And
never
you're back
got
from
coke.
outer space. I don't know if you guys know.
I'm pretty high, man.
Oh, no, fuck you. We don't fuck around.
Oh yeah.
Theo
I'm on
Von,
it.
my boy joined jiu-jitsu
You
2 months ago, 3 months ago. He did his first fucking tournament. I've been going to jiu-jitsu for 2 fucking years, and I'm still scared to go on a tournament. Lee went Saturday.
It's so much more fun than
He took 3rd
practice.
fucking place.
No
We're
way.
out of 3 people. So.
Let's go, bro.
That's
Let's go, bro.
You know what place I took? No fucking place. I wasn't there. I was walking around the fucking Central Park with ducks. And there you are fucking choking motherfuckers. My heart goes out to you, bro. You're a bad motherfucker.
Yeah, it's commendable, bro. You could have fucking,
Commendable, bro.
you could end up in 4th place, bro. You could have got disqualified.
You could have
That's true.
showed up.
Yeah.
I had a little bit of a bronchitis right now, so I wanted to quit, but I knew if I didn't do it, you, John Butt, and everyone will kill me. So I'll just go.
Yeah, we
See
wouldn't have killed you. I understand.
What was
No,
the match like? Talk about the
I
match.
wanted to see you play out the hand league.
I was never scared of it. Like I've said, I wrestled in high school. It was never good, but I knew I wasn't gonna like physically die, or occasionally someone breaks an arm or something. But that's not even the end of the world. I've been losing weight for the past couple of years, and it really kicked it into gear that I need to finish losing the weight because because it was a smaller tournament. I'm 228 right now. I was going against people who were like 290 to an ideal situation for me.
Were you pretty like? Did you smoke first?
No, God, people ask me that, man. I can't imagine doing that high.
Before jiu-jitsu, and it makes it
When Javier was choking me that night and I was stoned out of my mind, I was like, "Are you?" I took
it's
a laugh.
a different world.
Is it?
Oh,
Could you be high and do it?
no. I tried a couple of times. I wasn't going to
Oh, damn.
because when you start breathing heavy, your mind takes you away.
Yeah.
So, like when you're on an edible and you breathe heavy, like when I go to jiu-jitsu this morning, I was breathing heavy. Like I was having a hard time.
Yeah,
So if I would have done an edible, the edible takes your mind away. All of a sudden your mind, the edible tells your mind you're about to have a heart attack. And your fucking heart starts pounding just from listening to your mind.
Oh, damn, it's not even true.
Sometimes just here, I'll start having like a little bit of a
little
panic attack.
palpitation.
Really?
Yeah, the edibles, let me tell you something, edibles aren't copacetic for everybody. They create a lot of anxiety. A lot of people say, I like smoking pot, but for me, it gives me anxiety.
Yeah.
And it's not a good 1,000 milligrams of edible. And it's an uncomfortable feeling. You go through an hour of like, Jesus Christ, this is terrible.
I feel right now. I feel pretty high.
Do you really?
Because I don't ever smoke, so I feel fucking
When did you start comedy?
pretty high, man.
You've been around in that life for like 10 years. Right?
Yeah, I started like 12, 13 years ago.
Okay, because I know you were in that life. You were really young, like 2005 or something.
I was young, man. Do you ever miss the weight? Bro?
I miss eating what I want to eat.
Yeah.
I miss I didn't care.
Like, how much would you eat? Would you just eat the fuck out of something?
Oh
sometimes?
yeah.
Oh,
I
that
worked.
sounds nice. Man.
I worked.
Really?
Yeah, just fucking get whatever you want.
Oh,
just
it's
fucking
great.
Put it in your mouth.
It's like even football. Like it's depressing for me. I don't watch football. Like I used to watch football all day, and I would get a large pizza and 12 wings. Fucking just not even worrying about it at all. Did you ever sit for like a year for like at 6 a.m.?
Started at 6 a.m.
And I was working nights on a TV show, so I'd go from there to here, and then I would it'd be like 8 in the morning, and I'd be getting Jack in the Box. Yeah. And like sometimes I'd just pass out
From eating it?
Well, no, just from all these things. But then I'd pass out, but like the wrapper would still be on my couch or something. It's terrible.
Oh, okay. Because you never hear like when you was just fucking hiding chocolate in your fucking cheeks, man. When you're just filling your gills up.
I used to go. I got up to 315. That was the highest I ever got.
Yeah.
At a certain point, I was every night getting 2 packages of Reese sticks and 2 either Swedish fish or gummy bears. And
Reese
sticks? Yeah, those are the best.
Are they good?
Those are still the best. I can't have them. But those are the best. And then either Swedish fish or gummy bears.
Yeah.
And just have them. And I would tell myself I would have 2 of each the next day, but it would never happen. So I miss
them all, huh?
I miss that. Now I have a fudgicle. And it's depressing, but it still tastes good, but it's not.
It covers the spread, but like what you really fucking want. That's the worst. Now you grew up where?
Louisiana.
How far from a suburb?
About 40 miles, 45 miles.
So your family's eaters.
Yeah, our family's we didn't eat a bunch of food, but we ate as much as we had, pretty much.
I mean, I've had 3 experiences in New Orleans.
Yeah.
And 1 outside of New Orleans. And all my
people love to eat
foodie culture, and depending where the fuck you go. Grudge match. We shot that in New Orleans. But I was low man with the totem pole. They put me in a hotel where they give you all the meals are inclusive.
Yeah.
And at first I was like, I'm fucking eating no fucking hotel. Oh my God.
The hotel food was good.
Every fucking meal was world class. It was all like a 7-course.
Yeah.
Take care of yourself.
Yeah, kind of. I mean, I like
you eat what you want, but you have a great metabolism. Not work out a lot.
Not as much. I work out a pretty decent amount. I wish that I actually ate more. And you would do like you did, just live.
I would give anything to be as skinny as you are. So it's,
really?
Yeah, man, I've never been skinny, so this is like a new thing for me.
Oh, well, so your whole life's fucking feeling a little bit different on you.
Yeah, I mean, I'm still I'm 228 today, so it's not great, but it's better than 315.
You didn't look fat to me, and I was just thought like, man, this guy he's got kind of a unique shape, but he's chill. But then I was like, oh, and then
I'll fucking bet.
I've never even had one, but I just see it and it just looks.
There used to be a place in Boulder.
Baby formula too, actually down there.
Baby formula.
You see a lot of the sisters are getting baby formula outside of the French Quarter. I don't know if you ever noticed.
In a bottle? What do they do?
Huh?
In a bottle?
No, just a can, bro. They fucking just can it up. It's true, man. A couple of sisters out there canning it up.
It's it's weird you talking about this because I think that like my best eating period. You start off skinny. You work out in high school. You play football. I had a friend that used to eat a box of fucking cereal for breakfast and then it was cake. How the fuck did I have a gallon of milk? Whatever the fuck the milk is with the cereal.
Was he driving a truck? That's insane.
No, he was in high school.
Oh, that's
lift
crazy.
weights. And then, I was eating too. I had a great appetite. Then I moved to Colorado and they took away the night eating. There's no more drinking. Going to eat when I was used to eating.
Right.
It was an open steak sandwich at 2 a.m. with a forward cream of turkey soup.
And not even brushing your teeth.
Shit, just going to bed with dirty teeth and shit.
Yeah, son, that's how I do it.
Fuck yeah.
So that's where I'm from, man. A place you go to bed with dirty teeth.
You got dirty teeth. And, you don't, I don't eat here at night. I go home. If I'm really high, I'll eat whatever my wife cooked, which is controlled. It's like a chicken cutlet. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not like 20 chicken cutlets. There's 20 chicken cutlets. You can fuck shit up. There'll be like one leftover chicken cutlet. I'll eat a chicken cutlet, eat an apple. You know what I'm saying?
It's crazy. I've been lucky all week. My mom has been here for almost a week.
No
and
way.
I haven't eaten this good in 4 years.
She's making breakfast.
She hasn't made. We've been sleeping a little late. A couple of days she made breakfast, but it's been like she made brisket. She made a couple kinds of different kinds of chicken, and it just
I like all of that.
Stacked all my entire fridge is full now for like
I like peach cobbler.
Oh, she made icebox cake. Have you ever had that? All you do is you take a layer of graham crackers and you have to get the cook and serve pudding, not like pudding cups, but you have to cook pudding, and you just do layers of pudding and graham cracker. You put it in the fridge and let it freeze up, and then put some whipped cream on it.
Mm-hmm.
Paula's been talking about it for 3 days. She loves it.
We used to we used to have this game where you would fill like two dudes would fill their mouth with sugar, and then you slap each other in the fucking cheeks. But here's the thing, bro. It's hard to hold a whole bunch of sugar in your mouth and keep it all in. Well, here's the thing. It starts dissolving, but you get parched because all your moisture is going to this thing, so your body starts to dry out. So then you're basically holding the sugar in your dry mouth at a certain point, man. You feel like the desert.
How old are you?
I don't know. Like you was a child.
Okay, like when I was like 8.
Like 8, 7, 8, 11, and then 14 even. 14 even. And this one 18-year-old chick. 14. We used to have this fucking girl who was probably 14 that went shirtless, bro. And she was like fucking 4 to 14 shirtless, bro. Shirtless.
Why was that?
I don't know. It was just so the whole family was pretty much shirtless, and they didn't do any different by the girls, man. This girl was shirtless as fuck. And we all thought, like, damn, she's like a long hair. She's like the most best looking dude you ever seen, right? We thought that till about 11. And then somebody's like, that's a girl, man. She just goes shirtless. And we're like,
nobody told her to put a shirt on in school or something?
Oh, I don't know about the school. But she was in a children's school. I was a little bit older than her. I never saw anybody just be completely shirtless like that.
Who puts fucking sugar in their mouth?
Oh, yeah. Well, it was a cheap game, bro. It's like if you don't have a bunch of money to go do something, you fill each other's mouth up with sugar. And then y'all just got to slap each other in the cheek.
There was a kid by name of John Carney. Not a bad kid. Always great sense of humor. We had a brother, Brian Carney. In those days, kids didn't have ADD. They didn't have autism. He was just retarded.
Yeah.
When he had the cheeky eyes.
Yeah, he just wasn't cutting it. He just wasn't cutting it, man.
And they used to torture him.
Yeah, we called him God's favorite.
Yeah, they used to make him drink piss. They piss in a beer bottle and close it, and then put it in the last bottle, and he would take it, have a beer, and he'd fucking drink it. I was never involved in this shit with Brian Carney.
Was he handicapped?
No, he just wasn't sharp. You know,
Yeah.
he just wasn't a sharp kid. Nice kid, always said hello, Brian Carney. But they did weird things to him. Like they used to make him eat shit. Like they pay him like $15 to make him eat a lot of like weird stuff.
How much shit?
Fill,
Oh, I
fill
think
his-
an actual shit.
No. Like filling his mouth with pepper and shit like that. Then they had this other kid, the guy who they just fired from the Miami Hurricanes defensive coordinator. When he was a kid, his brothers and all those guys' neighbors used to tie him up on a bicycle, make him eat raw eggs and blow them up in his mouth and all that shit. Like put the eggs in the shell and smack him and blow the egg in his mouth. No wonder that one guy went to Penn State was an All-American.
Thank God I didn't go. I would have died in your town.
There was certain
Thank God I
people
was
who
too
just
early for that. I would have been one of those kids.
The guy I got into it with when I did that club, before I met Lee, I did a club in New York City. One of the first times I went to New York to do comedy on my own, I booked a music club, the Village.
Right.
And I went there. The guy that started the fight with me, his name was Brian Burns. And we were kids. He went around school. He already had a legend. What he would do is he had a gang of guys that would take you, tie you down, and they would put duct tape on your balls and fucking that glue shit and tape it. And they would call it a table.
Oh,
And they would give you a table where they lay you down and wrap you up with tape and
Yeah.
pull the tape off you and shit like that. He was known for all that stuff, the spray and stuff on your balls. He was a big time bully. And you know what happens to bullies, bro? They get beat up later on in life, people. And I remember that night, like I was like, I can take this fucking guy.
Damn.
And I had all you could see, he got like 300 something pounds.
Right.
I stopped eating.
So, but you felt like it was crazy because the tide had switched with that dude. Like and back in the day,
He was a bully.
Yeah, he was a bully.
This thing, you hit him hard or something, he'd get his friends to give you the tape.
Oh, that sucks.
Especially if he was Spanish or something.
Yeah.
Like that, you know?
Oh, that shit got racial, huh?
It was what it was.
Yeah.
You know? It was what it fucking was. I mean,
We had one Mexican kid that showed up on our time. We didn't have any Spanish people. But we had one Mexican kid. Let me think about what this kid's name was. I think it was Nick, right? And I remember we all had science class. And, actually, in science class, I had these hamsters you could play with until the second bell rang or whatever. Then you had to put them in a cage and everybody, because then we would do learning, And this fucking one time, they had this hamster, right? Superman, we named him. And I was holding him in this fucking big sweatshirt I had, right? And after class, I forgot he was in there. He fell asleep in the little pocket where you put your hands, right? So after class, I just throw him a book bag. I'm running. Next thing you know, I get in a fight with two brothers, right? Get beat up pretty good. And one of them had fucking killed this hamster that was still in this pouch. He fucking punched it. So I've never had it, like, sometimes I'm not even joking, bro. I'll have dreams where I feel like I had an abortion.
Or Superman. I knew something wasn't going to be good.
Yeah, I think his name was Superman. Let me think for a second. It might not have been Superman.
would you take the fucking hamster out of class and put it in your phone? Go to high school.
Next to that town, a couple away from there, call it Covington, Mandeville.
Where'd you go to college?
I went to LSU and University of New Orleans.
I went to LSU. They still talk about this.
Oh, dude, the town I grew up in.
Get the fuck out of here.
He lived and died in our town, dude.
Get the fuck out of here.
Yep, and Lee Harvey Oswald went to middle school in our town.
Get the fuck out of here.
Swear to God, dude. And I mean, I say this a lot, but in once in the 80s and in 1994, a bunch of infected monkeys got out because Tulane University had their primate testing facility center in our town. And a bunch of infected monkeys got out, and they let us out of YMCA summer camp to help the police look for them, bro. I remember they came to summer camp.
What?
Basically
They
took
sent kids to look for.
Rogers Roasters, dude, off of Highway 190. That's a true story, dude.
That's the name of your book.
Huh?
I surrounded some chips and next to a Kenny Rogers Roasters.
And dude, the shit got racial. Like, people go around town, they were like yelling. I mean, this is fucked up. I mean, this just shows you how far in the South you are. People were like, 90 monkeys just escaped from this place or whatever. And you literally have, like, you know, people riding around with guns, fucking Confederate flags. It's like, dude, these are animals, man. Like, relax. Like, the shit almost got, it was weird. Like, people were like, these fucking monkeys. Like, they planned it. Like, it was crazy. Like, it was.
I just drew that name out because today, in today's paper on Twitter, it said that the basketball player from the Lakers is producing Pistol Pete Barrel.
Oh, that's awesome.
And I'm sitting there going, you know, what kills me about today is they're doing biopics about people that these motherfuckers don't even know. That movie should have been done 2 weeks after he fucking died.
Yeah.
But nobody thought about doing it, you know. Do you know much about Pistol Pete?
I mean, I think I know a pretty good amount about him. I mean, I know he played, at LSU. I know he played for the Jazz. I know his two sons.
Really?
Yeah, they played ball like whenever I was growing up. So one of them like a little younger, one of them a little bit older. So I mean, they were legends. It was kind of it was a small town. Like it was
legends.
Yeah, the biggest name in history.
Fucking if he lost his father, it's his son in basketball, Jack.
Dude, they had a half court or a quarter court in their upstairs of their house, above the
look
in the attic. They had a basketball.
They didn't
court.
fuck around. The marriages didn't fuck around. That old man didn't fuck around.
That dude,
he had that's why he drank himself to death, Pistol Pete, because there was no childhood. His father made him go out there and do wind sprints and shit.
Yeah.
And that guy wasn't fast, but his fucking handling skills were just phenomenal.
He made up for it.
In my life, I've seen two people handle a ball. Fucking phenomenal. One was a guy named Pistol Pete Maravich, who was an NBA player. And another guy was a kid from South Carolina. His name was Jackie.
White kid or black kid?
White kid.
Mm.
And he played basketball on acid. That's why he didn't get drafted, because he was such a freak. But his handling skills, I saw him play, and I played against him when I got older. His handling skills were so fucking unbelievable what he could do with a ball. And unless you see that,
right,
it's really hard to explain.
Right.
Even if you see Kobe Bryant pass, or whoever, Stephen Marbury pass, it was nothing. Or dribble, or the control that Pistol Pete had for a white guy. And he had a tragic life. I don't think he ever won a championship.
I don't think he ever won a championship. I know, I think he still has like the
father would say, "Fuck those four guys."
Yep, literally.
Shoot the fucking ball. Shoot the fuck those four motherfuckers.
I heard he even tried to. Sometimes he would wear a completely different jersey. Like he would be on a team and they'd play in a team, and then he'd show up in a total different jersey. And be like, "I'm gonna play both you guys, bro." But yeah, man, we got out to look for all types of chips that I got out of that joint. You can still look for it online. They got some old stories.
It's crazy because
they had a lot of. Oh, I was going. Sorry.
No, I grew up in New York City, but in my heart, after I saw different places, there was a couple places I wish I would have grown up. One would have been New Orleans.
Yeah.
The other would have been Houston. And there was one other place I wanted to grow up when I was a kid. I don't know why.
New Orleans.
I don't know why.
I always thought New York would be really cool.
You follow me, like there's always, but it would be interesting. Like when I go to New Orleans, I was driving around, and I was going, how would I have turned down if I would have grown up on this fucking street?
Well, I don't know about you, but I feel like the South gets a bad rap up north. Nice weather. Like I feel like I got a bad rap when I was in Mass.
People are fucking. I don't know. People are chill down there, man. But it's a lot of the same. Like you hear that, you definitely notice it's a lot of old-fashioned ideas down there. Like people, concepts are slow.
But that's what makes the South the South.
Right.
Listen, that's what makes the South the South. I read somewhere that last week, when those guys, the terrorists, shot those people, that the neighbor said he suspected something, but he didn't want to call the police because he didn't want to seem racist.
Yeah. Jesus Christ.
Because he was too politically correct. You understand? We had a point in our lives who were too politically correct. Look what happened yesterday. Fucking Trump makes that announcement against Muslims. His fucking rating is the highest it's ever been. It's like 35%. He's 20 points ahead of the fucking competition. 19 points ahead of the competition.
I like, you like Sleepy Black?
What's that?
I don't know.
Ben Carson?
Oh, Jesus.
I can't vote, so I don't really know.
Oh, you can't even vote?
No, I got felonies, and I don't want to fucking vote. It's too much pressure. Then you got to be responsible for your fucking vote. I don't have that type of fucking conscience.
So if you get a felony, you don't have to vote?
You can't.
Oh, that's awesome.
I don't.
You can't vote, and you can't have a fucking gun. That's what they. That's the punishment they give you. Like, really? So I can't vote. I can't have a fucking gun. I can see not having a gun, but what voting got to do with it? I was disappointed, but after I thought about voting, I go, you know what? It's too much pressure. It's too much pressure. I don't know how people just vote and move on with their fucking lives. Voting for me is like gambling. If I would have voted on fucking Obama, I would have been pissed off right now. I mean, you're in a corner at the fucking movie theater because you voted for fucking Obama. That's what they should do to people. Like, if you make a bad vote and you voted for them, take 50 people out of each neighborhood, throw stones at them, you dumb fucks.
They're all liars.
Drown people. Drown them.
I don't vote. I got in a big fight with my mom and pa when they were here. When there's no popular vote, I think it doesn't matter at all. Especially like where I grew up in Mass. There's no, if you vote for a Republican, you're throwing away your vote.
Yeah.
And then it doesn't make sense that the popular vote isn't the way it elects people. And then even if it did, they all lie anyways. So I don't get the point.
What would you do? You think you would dress like if you were a politician? Do you feel like you? Sometimes I think about that. Like, would I totally change the game and wear like like a white beater or some crazy boots or something, or something? Be like, I'm gonna wear these crazy boots, you know, or I'm gonna wear like a, you know, a fucking dope jacket.
If I was a voting American, if I really was a voting American, you know, I wouldn't give a fuck about abortion. And that's got nothing to do with the price tags.
Yeah.
What you're gonna do? The country's in this state of the country right now. What
Yeah.
are you gonna do to get us out of this state? Let's go step by step for your 2 terms. Let's go for the 8 years.
Yeah.
Give me the 8 years. How it's gonna pan out? What are you gonna do the first year? What are you gonna take care of? What's second on the agenda? What's third?
Yeah.
Do I give a fuck about the homeless problem? Not fucking really. There's a ton of fucking problems you gotta take in before we worry about the minute little things.
Agreed.
Homeless people want to be fucking homeless people. What do you want me to do?
A lot of them are doing fine.
A lot of them are doing fine. You see them over here at the end of 134 getting changed, then they walk over to their fucking Corvette. I'm driving a fucking Subaru, hustling like a fucking savage, taking 2 planes a fucking week. And these cocksuckers are getting changed, making 40 grand a year at the end of the 134. You know, listen, man. It's not the point I'm talking about, but that's what I want to know your plan. I want to know your plan step by step by step by step. How it applies to me as an American. I want you to plan it out.
Yeah, real people.
Real people.
Yeah.
You know, and now you were talking about the South, that they're slower and that all that shit. You know what? I like that.
Yeah.
I like that that's there and the reason why it's there. There's a reason why a white guy would say that he's going to stop Muslims from coming in right now. And people raise their hands and say, half of them that say, oh, it's cruel or whatever. But the other half are Americans that feel, you know, we got to stop this somewhere.
Oh, yeah, man. You got to shut it down, bro. I would say if they had walls you could press a button right now, I'd put them up everywhere.
But it's not just that. It's, you know, look at the fucking, the people, the white dude, you know, it's people who shot up the movie theater. Let's not just blame one fucking
No, 100%. We got to find out who's in there. I just want to know who my neighbors are. We all got to figure this shit out. Who's here?
Listen, man, Pete, you said it best yourself. They're building buildings and people moving in and out. They just said that these people have a fucking passport duplication. If you don't think they're here, if you don't think
they're
you're
making millions on oil. They have everything. It's just, and I don't know because what are they gonna do? They're gonna walk. Are they gonna go around now, knocking on your neighbor's doors, like, hey, we're gonna check all the Muslims out.
Well,
you can't.
Not even Muslims, but even just regular people. You know.
I don't pay too much attention. If Trump hadn't said the things he said about Hispanics and this stuff about the Muslims, I think a lot more people would be on board.
Yeah.
I actually read an article yesterday that they're predicting that Trump is going to bow out at the end, just like he did the last time. So maybe he doesn't want too much support. I don't know.
Right.
But it's crazy what people say, and then yeah, if you lay out a plan, right? What happens when they don't do any of what they said?
Yeah.
Like I voted the first time for Obama, and he said like the whole thing, like 100 days I'll close Guantanamo. That was like the first thing he said, and it's coming up on the end, and that's nowhere near being closed. But maybe he didn't know that he couldn't close it. I don't know. But how do you hold them accountable? You can't. It's great. It's just like.
No, let me ask you something. Just for the argument here, because I don't know nothing about nothing.
I'm a little high though. You guys still?
I'm very high.
Okay, I'm just making sure everybody's high.
Why was it important to you that they would close Guantanamo?
No.
Why is that such a... I'm not arguing with you. I just want to know.
Personally, I have no thoughts on that, but that was just the only thing I could think of right now. Like that was, he said in the 100 days I'll close it. I don't know if that's good or bad. I'm not sure.
Now that people want them to close Guantanamo?
Yeah.
Why?
Because it's the
yeah, for the troops there, yeah, not the prisoners, but it was pretty fun, I guess. I mean, I don't know it's chill in there. The chicks only had like 7 chicks, not even that hot, but some of the guys seemed friendly, and we went swimming and everything. We had a good time.
Now, what made you want to get on stage?
My dad was real old when I was born. That's how I was.
How old was you?
70. My dad was 70.
Hold on 1 second. I gotta get a tissue.
You shit?
Oh, you got it.
Oh, that's all. Shit a little.
No. I gotta blow my nose.
But yeah, I wonder what kind of hats I would wear, or special pants I would wear if I was the president, bro. You ever wonder that, man?
Like American flag pants?
Yeah. Yeah, like a little, you know.
The pieces when somebody breaks your...
How's the podcast?
It's going good. It's on right now.
Huh?
I guess no. We can talk.
Stream?
Yeah, we're streaming right now on YouTube. That's so. Your dad was 70 years old. That's crazy. How was that?
How was it?
Like, was it?
It was pretty nuts, bro. He's high.
Oh yeah, Joe. I think most of the people. I think that's.
Oh yeah, man. I get caught up sounding like a. I'm pretty high though. Like if I think, I'm trying to think. Like say somebody like, say if I wasn't myself and I came up to me.
Okay.
And I said, fuck, that didn't make any sense. And I said,
Hi.
fuck, what were we talking about? What were we talking about?
Yeah, no, it's sometimes I wonder that, like, if I was sober watching a high
Yeah.
person, would I be able to know they were high?
Dude, I wonder if you came up to yourself, bro, would you even like who you are? Would you be like, look at this bitch right here?
Oh, that's deeper than I was thinking. That's sometimes I think I try to be.
Oh, Joe, what do you think?
Me?
Would you like yourself, honestly, if you met yourself, dude, being 100% honest?
No, I don't even like look. I hate when I do a movie and have to go watch it. Or somebody makes me, I'm dreading watching this fucking special. You know, I'm dreading all that shit. I don't want to see me. I don't want to fucking hear me. I don't want to see my body. I don't want to see my physique.
When is it? When is it special?
No, we just shot something in Vegas.
Oh, y'all did? How was it? Awesome.
It was what it was. You know, I gotta see it. You know, I just went through the motions. I don't fucking know.
It's good. I'm really happy.
too high right now.
Bro, it's good.
Is that enough? Oh, it's
I hope not.
No, I hope it is. So your dad had he was 70.
Yeah, he was old.
What are you gonna say?
How old was your mom?
32. She was young.
Yeah, was like this.
He was throwing it out there, man.
That was his first marriage?
No, he'd been married he'd been married one time before,
Was your
maybe.
dad still alive before we talk about it?
No, he'd be old.
Sorry.
It's all right. Appreciate it, man. He would be almost he'd be 106. 106
Sorry.
now.
I don't know. You
Thanks, man.
only get 22, so I'm all fucked up. I know
Go
you've
ahead,
been around here for 10 years, maybe. So
I'm
he
30.
had you when you were 70.
Yeah, he got old, man. He just, I don't know. And that's something my mom will, like, when I think about my mom, like, who would bang, like, an old guy? Like, that'd be crazy, I feel like.
Was he like an attractive man? Was he like.
Yeah, definitely handsome, but, I mean, he didn't have any money. You know what I'm saying? Like, who kind of thugs it out with an old dude that many times?
Let me get back to
You know?
how old was your dad when he passed?
86.
So he was around till he was 16. God bless you, bro.
Yeah.
You got to have him till he was 16.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, man. It was kind of wild having like an old dad because all the time you spent, it was just like a little bunch of like kind of vignettes of like he would take me to this bar sometimes with him, bro. And you know, the lady would give me fucking chocolates, right? And then, I mean, one night the lady, I'm not even joking, kept giving me chocolates, and my dad's like, no more chocolates for me. You know, and I had probably 30, bro. Like, nothing could stop me from eating chocolates, bro. I'd just continue to put chocolates. If they had chocolates around me, I would just continue to put them into me. And this lady, my dad said, no. And then the lady took me to the side of the bar a little while later and just gave me fucking like almost like this lady wanted to like poison me or something, you know? So he used to take me to do like weird shit like that. I don't know.
God bless you, bro.
Yeah.
No. You fucking know. I lost my father when I was 3. I lost my mother when I was 16. Right now, I had my daughter when I'm 49. Every morning I wake up, I can't lie to none of you guys. I wake up, I put my feet down, I go, God, thank you for giving me another day to see this little fucking girl. All I want is enough time just so I can give her the fucking mentality of the church. That's all I need. Let her work it out like I worked it out without my mom. That's the best way to fucking do it because I feel like I'm going to die.
No.
I did blow. I
ain't
had
gonna die, man.
You know, God fucking knows. You get shot by one of these fucking monkeys. Who knows?
Yeah.
But you always, you know, it's amazing that now, like I would say, who the fuck would have a kid at 50?
Yeah.
Don Johnson had a kid at 52. The movie was looking at him going, why would you have a fucking kid?
Yeah.
That's the most selfish fucking thing in the world. Also, I knocked my wife up. So now you're looking to live. Like, you're like, wait a second, you know, I want to live for this child.
Right.
But fucking 70 and dead and balls of steel. Brothers and sisters.
Yeah, I got 2 younger sisters and an older brother. So we
Same
got
mom
4.
and dad.
Same mom and dad, yeah.
Oh, shit. You got 2 younger sisters.
Yeah, man, we had a wild. It was pretty wild. I mean, I guess I'm trying to think like more about what it was like. Like I remember like weird shit. I guess. I mean, I don't know. I remember like my dad would fucking. He let me years old, and my dad being like, "Hey, will you drive me?" You know, because he couldn't turn his neck. You know, so like he's like, "Hey, will you drive me?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I'll fucking drive you." I'll hit like 5'10". I grew a little growth spurt when I was 11. So next thing you know, I was driving my dad places, dude. Like I remember we dropped him at the post office, and he said, "Go around the block." And I went around the block, It fucking hit like 7 cars, bro. This fucking side of my dad had a Cutlass, like a Delta 88, you know, like a just straight up fucking rig rider, bro. And I would just, and it was a piece of shit. It was all banged up. And I would just go around the block. And then one time he let me drive on the interstate. I was doing like 70, 80 miles an hour driving to Hammond. And it's probably about like 30 miles. And my dad's just fast asleep in the fucking passenger side. So those are the fucking good old days, man.
What I feel from you a little bit, like you tell me the stories you're happy, you're missing and everything. But are these stories weird to tell sometimes? Like, are they weird to tell?
Yeah, a little bit. I mean,
it's not the normal American family. Like me, I have the same family.
Right.
So I can see that we both share that same little twitch because as you get older, you'll appreciate those stories more. Because nobody fucking had a life like that.
Right.
That when you're 11, you're that like, drive a fucking car.
Yeah.
You know, that's cool.
We were all begging to drive the car.
You're begging to drive the fucking car at that age.
That's a good
and it's
point,
a small
man.
city.
Right.
You know, cops know each other. If you got pulled over, it's not
it's
like
chill.
30 fucking years in those days.
Yeah.
But just the fact that sometimes when your parents give you a lot of trust, it does something to you. It's good and it's bad.
Right.
You know, like you had an older dad that he saw life for what it was at 70. And I bet now when you tell those stories sometimes, you're like, should I even say the story? Let me tell you something. You have no idea how lucky you are. You have no idea that you had this life because most kids couldn't even imagine that shit.
Right.
Most kids had to steal a car at 16. You know, there's so many good points growing up. No matter how you grow up, as long as your parents were around,
right?
Just having a life is great. I know it's tough. People get adopted, they get stabbed, they get beat up and shit. You know, I'm very lucky. My
Thugs and Muppets, man.
Yeah, when my mom died, I didn't have to go into the system when I was old enough to make my own decision. It's so weird. Till today, I realized I didn't even do paperwork. My mom died. My friends said, "You want to live with us?" I'm like, yeah.
That was it.
I kept going to high school. Like nothing. I just switched my address. And
nobody asked any questions.
Who's your legal guardian? Me. That was my legal fucking guardian. Me.
Those are the fucking days, dude. I feel like kids can't have anything like that anymore. Like all the, I don't know, it's just this ambiance. I think before some of the technology we have now that just made everything fucking dope.
One of the reasons why I wanted to go home with my wife and the baby was because of my paranoia of dying. I wanted to walk my daughter up and down the same streets I walked.
Right.
I parked the car, I walked up even that terrace, I walked down the turnpike. But the best walk we did was in the park where I used to play basketball.
Yeah.
It was over. I took her in the park. And now they replaced the hut. There used to be a hut there. And one of the most racist thing in that fucking hut, that me and everybody in the park looked at each other and just kept fucking shaking our heads. There used to be a hut there. The guy's name was Mr. Kennel. His 2 sons are still alive. The 1 son's still alive. Nice kid. I always liked Jackie's name. We were just playing tag. What the fuck you play when you're 11 or 12? There was a basketball court. In those days, we weren't allowed a basketball court. The older kids were drunk. Unless they picked you, you couldn't fucking just play whatever the monkey bars and shit.
Chill.
And that hut was there. It was the summertime. I'll never forget that Mr. Kennel was in that hut. And that was, you know.
He was coming in there?
No, he was sitting in there with a fan on him, and this little hut, and the window was slide open. And he's sitting there, he's got his glasses on. Mr. Kennel's got to be 40.
Right.
And there's 8 Spanish kids, 20 Italian kids, 6 Irish kids, and 1 fat black girl.
Blowing?
With a huge Julius Irving afro. She's a little kid.
Right.
She's got to be 10. She's throwing rocks at the kids. They're all throwing rocks at each other. They're all having a good time. And all of a sudden, out of nowhere, one of the white kids spits at Marlo. And Marlo spits back at the white kid. And Mr. Kennel sees this. Now, we're over here. I don't know what the fuck we're doing. He sees this and he slides open the window. And he pops his up the window and goes, "Hey, don't let that nigga spit get on you." Right? This is 1975. He goes, "That shit'll go right through you." And he closed the window. And me and the other kids sat there and looked at each other like we had never heard. Like I heard nigger on a Richard Pryor album.
Yeah.
And that was it. For him to yell it, that was the most great. And Marlo just kept spitting at the white kid like nothing happened. Marlo didn't give a fuck.
Damn, man. That's
It's
fucked
great.
up.
Well, that hut is gone. My point is, the hut and its racism is gone, right?
They had this kid that lived down the street from us named Boogie, and the dad was like a bus driver in our town, and he used to cut our hair, right? And
He's a bus driver that cut hair.
yeah, he was a bus driver that cut hair. And here's the crazy part. I didn't think about this. The only haircut he knew how to give was his own cut, right? Like the style he had, right? And it was a fucking. It wasn't even a style. It just looked like shit, right? So all the boys and most of the girls had the same cut in our town. Everybody looked jacked up. But what were we talking about? Black people? Oh, no. The priest yelled that shit, man.
The first time I really went to New Orleans was right about mafia down there.
Mm-hmm.
And how that guy ran the mob. And how everybody thought that whole Kennedy assassination came out of New Orleans. It was also very interesting to me that I saw a movie called
Fatal Attraction?
Fatal Fucking Attraction. That's the chick that shows a pussy.
Oh, that's I knew it is Sharon Stone.
Right. This is.
What if Sigourney Weaver showed her pussy? Would you look or not?
Fuck yeah, with that over. Oh, actually, I love that sexy over.
No Mercy?
No Mercy was a movie that came out in 1987 about white. 86 about white motherfuckers killing each other in New Orleans. The guy that was her boyfriend bought her. Bought her. Like that happens in New Orleans. He bought her from her mama.
Right.
He raised her. They put her woolly out and fucked her. She was beautiful. Kim Bassett. Can you imagine buying Kim Bassett? She's like 13